They told me boys don't cry or play with Barbies. So my whole life I've tried my hardest to be the man that they wanted me to be.
Hi guys, this is my last entry for the Wingless journal. I am so thankful that I actually made this series because I have so many spin-offs in my mind that I will post right after this series, after To Heal With You too. And thank you for the nice conversations, to that one comment or like shout out. I think I made that a shout out that said that I am so sweet to my watchers. I reply what you guys give me. If you give me love, then I will of course give you love. But if you give me toxicity, then I will also give you toxicity. Anyway, I am now rambling. Enjoy! And before I forget, there is a little trinket of me cursing in Tagalog in the last part. I keep crying while posting this because I don't want to end my stories, I swear. Chaotic fluff, mild, not safe for work, you know what I mean. Wingless. January 2, 2020. Now this is a wedding. Are you serious? Have you seen the papers? Newlyweds gone? Lol. Shut it, guys. Nowhere to be found, alright? Nishinoya, Ryu, and the newlyweds sat on a long table waiting for their breakfast. Well, only 3 of the men sat on the chairs, since Shuyu was snuggled close to Tsukihina on his lap. Can't believe you 3 are so rowdy so early in the morning. Ooh, calm down. Let them be. Morning, Mom. Pops. Morning, sunlight. Shuyu perked up from Tsukishima's chest and ran to the bathroom. He's not pregnant, is he? He's a guy, if you haven't noticed. True. His puking early in the morning is concerning, that I admit. Yo, did you finally push too deep to make him preggo? Tanaka, Shuyu isn't a girl. Bro, already an Anashita, remember? Right. Sorry, Ryu. No biggie. Probably from air sickness? Yeah, I did fly all the way from Japan to here. Shuyu climbed back to Tsukishima's lap and pushed his face into Tsukishima's chest. I think something's wrong with my stomach. I pulled out. Right? You didn't. I didn't? God, Mooney, why? Y'all the petite! I'll cut all your strings. I'll do mass murder. Forgot to pull out. Tsukishima rolled his eyes and buried his face into Shuyu's hair. Oof. Is the wedding still on? Guess so. Wonder how the world's doing. It's fine, I guess. It only reacts when the pain is super. Still though, really, Tsukishima? What happened? Chikara took a seat beside Tanaka and gave him a peck, then mumbled a good morning. Tsukishima didn't pull out without protection, so now Sunlight's stomach is acting up. Didn't think you'd do that, Tsukishima. Tsukishima, who was still buried in Shuyu's hair, gave them a grunt. I feel sick. Tsukishima stood up with Shuyu in his arms. Sorry guys, I'm taking Sunshine with me until the wedding. I am not going for another round! Tsukishima squinted his eyes at Shuyu and rolled them afterwards. You're sleeping after taking pain relievers. No monkey business? Sunshine, you really don't trust me when we're alone. Because one way or another, we'll end up in bed, which we shouldn't be hearing about. Agreed. But Sunlight, you should really rest. Right, Shuyu. It is till 5 and the wedding's at noon. Shuyu looked at the group and then to Tsukishima. He slumped his shoulders and leaned on Tsukishima. Tsukishima took this as a sign of defeat and made his way back to their room. When they got to the room, Tsukishima shut the door and closed the curtains. He turned the lights to a dim light and lay down beside Shuyu. Sunshine? I love you. Shuyu shifted in bed to wiggle into Tsukishima's arms. I love me too. Annoying. We just got married yesterday. Let me sleep. Tsukishima's hand unconsciously played and twirled around Shuyu's stray hair. We're getting married again this noon, though. My tummy hurts. Shuyu curled up in a ball and placed his hands on his tummy. I wish you'd die. Then you're asking for the end of the world. Shuyu rolled over to face him and scrunched up his nose. The world on my shoulders is heavy. I don't think you're heavy if you're on me. Shuyu smacked Tsukishima on the shoulder and got a groan in response. Sunshine, you're the literal word. No funny business. Whatever angle we look at it, you're the one who thinks I'm gonna do something. Tsukishima did his signature smirk and poked Shuyu's forehead. Shuyu groaned and winced while tightening his grip on his stomach. Sunshine? Can I see your wings? You wanna borrow them? Maybe. You can borrow them, but they're gonna hurt. 'Cause baby, it's cold outside. You can keep them then. Shuyu let go of his stomach and placed his hands on the cheeks of Tsukishima. You tend to hold my cheeks, then twirl a strand of my hair if you're sleeping. I do. Shuyu absent-mindedly twirled around a strand of yellow hair, further proving Tsukishima's theory. He seemed to notice he was doing what Tsukishima said and blinked slowly. I am sleepy. Tsukishima patted his head and softly rubbed a spot on his scalp. Lazy mornings are the best. Yep, they are. Tsukishima sang a small tune of If the World Was Ending. It was their favorite sad song that never really fit their life stories. But with Tsukishima softly singing the melody and his eyes that were too heavy to open, Shuyu drifted off to sleep. The wedding continued and Shuyu had wedding jitters again. But this time, it wasn't because the wedding was broadcasted. It was because during the first wedding, he was too occupied in getting through with the wedding. But since he didn't have anything to worry about anymore, he was biting his nails. He was wishing that somehow Tsukishima isn't gonna look super hot. He'd either get a nosebleed or just take him then and there. Why didn't I notice him in the kimono yesterday? He'd look hot in anything. Not that I'm complaining, but I hope I don't get a nosebleed. Oh wow. You guys really are soulmates. Dashi? Just came from Suki's room. He was sweating buckets and saying how he hopes he isn't gonna take you then and there. Well, that makes two of us. Yamaguchi walked up from behind Shuyu and put each hand on Shuyu's shoulders. You married the guy yesterday, and you've been living with each other even before you had your own place. Plus, you literally fucked last night. Dashi, I could hear you guys from rooms away. Dashi! Kidding. Suki made sure to book the soundproof ones for you. Dashi! Shuyu was blushing really hard and tried to hide it in his hands. Yamaguchi backed off, hand up in the air like a criminal getting caught. Alright. But it took your mind off Suki, right? Yamaguchi had a sly smile on his face. Well, I hope someone doesn't just steal the groom and jump to honeymoon. Tadashi, you're just as mean as Mooney. Shuyu, I'm his best friend. What did you expect? Sunshines and rainbows? That's you, sunlight and Toby. Shuyu grinned up at Yamaguchi, who had a small, teeny tiny blush on. Anyways, go get your mans and don't run off with him to fuck. You do the deed after the reception. Yes, Mom. Ew, gross. Yamaguchi snickered, then went away saying the wedding's starting, which just made Shuyu way nervous until his mom came in to drag him to the altar if he was thinking of pulling the I don't want to get married stunt again. Shuyu wasn't really dragged to the altar, but he was really glad his friends forced a veil on him. To sum it up, he was red. Strawberry red. The moment he laid eyes on Tsukishima, he became red like he ate something hot. He will though. His mom gave him to Tsukishima and the ceremony started. Shuyu preferred to keep his veil on until before the exchange of kiss, despite the muttering of Akiteru, Yamaguchi, and Kageyama beside them. Then the turn came to state their wedding vows, which Shuyu totally forgot he prepared one. I, Tsukishima K, will continue to be his very much needed pillow to hug when in times he misses practically everyone even after meeting with them the day before. K. Yes, Sunshine? You brat! And I promise to somehow expand his ever cute and not so insulting vocabulary. K! I'm kidding, Sunshine. But not really. It seems I too have wedding jitters. I promise that I will always and forever clean up after my beloved Sunshine, who seems to trip and fall and rise and never look back at the mess he's made. I love him till my dying breath and treasure him as he is. Tsukishima tightened his grip on Shuyu's hands and gave a loving smile to Shuyu. Now it was Shuyu's turn, and he was shaking in Tsukishima's hand. So, I swear I made a know my vows, but just, it looked so hot and it flew out of my head. Oh, what I'm saying, jeez. I suck. So Hinata Shuyu, or wait, should I say Tsukishima Hinata Shuyu since we already got married yesterday? And wow, I am totally going back to my vows now. I, Hinata Shuyu, promise to love and care for this blind blonde who insults but teaches, corrects by reason, and love by morals. I love him till the last feather on his back withers, which is never, and accept him as he is. The priest continued on, and when the time to finally unveil Shuyu came, cameras were secretly and not so secretly zoomed in on Tsukishima. Tsukishima's heart was up in his throat, bracing himself to see Shuyu underneath the veil. His hands tugged at the hem of it and brought it behind Shuyu's head in the most casual pace he could muster. What wasn't so casual was his nosebleed. Okay? Shuyu's big round doe eyes plus red face plus white suit plus veil. Cue intense nosebleeding. Whoa! Shuyu went near Tsukishima to help him calm down in hopes for the bleeding to stop. Akiteru was already beside Kei, handing him a pack of tissues for his nose. Shuyu was a mess, red in the face, panicking, and his husband had his head bent over tissues to let the blood flow out. It took them a few minutes before Tsukishima's nose finally stopped bleeding. Well, Shuyu really couldn't keep his hands to himself and pulled Tsukishima down to smash their lips together, which in turn made Tsukishima's nose bleed again. The audience erupted in laughter all the way to the reception, and everything goofy and chaotic was caught on camera. This was the only day Tsukishima was fine being filmed in his embarrassed state. Entry end. Pile up your tissues because chapter 14 to 21 is so angsty and chapter 16 is just plain shitty. The pier? Tangina nung the pier.